12th. Everybody have a chance to review those?
Motion to approve the minutes from July 12th.
Second. Questions, additions, corrections? Colin?
Aye.
Aye. Yes. Yes. Everybody have a chance to review the June financials? I went through them today, thought they look good. I'll move to approve the June financials.
Second.
Questions? Colin?
Aye.
Aye. Yes. Yes. Local permit, Ducks Unlimited. So, was it September 18th? We have the Moya Building. So they're having a raffle, total of $10,000. Something they do every year, right?
Yes.
And they'll be renting the hall for that, I guess, so.
They will be, yes.
Okay. I see nothing wrong with it.
Motion to approve the Ducks Unlimited raffle.
And I'll second that. Comments? Colin?
Yes.
Aye. Yes. Yes. Okay, Washburn Fire Department, local permit. They're doing poker and a raffle, and this is on August 8th up at the Captain's Cabin. Something they've done before. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's for proceeds for rescue equipment.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the permit.
Second.
Discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Aye. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, let's do tree dumping issues. Chelsea, you got something on that, or?
Well, we've had phone calls wondering when it's gonna be open again. And I said that it would probably be discussed today for this meeting as to how it's going. I have told people that one of the reasons why there is an issue is because we do not have our loader. We cannot move trees currently. But it was brought to my attention today that, and whether or not this has been going on or if it just started since we've closed it down here, there are tree branches being dumped in the coulee by the Catholic Church and over by the Park Board building.
Okay. Do you know where the Park Board people dumping? No idea.
We're not dumping any.
Okay. No, nobody's got
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Saturday dumping down there.
What's that?
I said, I saw people Saturday dumping branches
Really?
down there. They did the tree clippings and they went around and they pulled the branches out of the trailer.
Park board doesn't work on Saturday.
Is there a file over there now? Was there a file over there
Where?
by the park board building?
I don't know. I don't know.
If you've got the start of a pile, people will add to it.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So they,
Take questions.
they're dumping over the bank there, is what they said, or they just dumping them there? or-
Yeah, I was told they were in the coulees. I'm just, I guess I never saw it. I'm just relaying what,
Imagine
I was
that's
told.
something we'll have to go look at.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, we closed that off because we don't have anything to move the branches around with, and it's getting to be a real horrible mess back there. And honestly, if we wouldn't have closed it off, you wouldn't be able to drive back there at all now with your grass clipping. So, you know, I got a call into the loader again today. I'm still waiting for a call back. So, still waiting for parts. Something we might have to look at is a different policy for our tree branches. I know that's been discussed. It's getting out of hand.
First commercial.
As commercial goes, yeah.
Commercial access.
I mean, the original idea was, if I remember right, was, you know, if people cut some branches, they can bring them down there, and then, you know, any commercial would need to come and get permission before they dump down there. And if I remember correctly, That sounds about right, doesn't it, Colin?
I think so, yep.
So we need to review that, I think, and, you know. come
If
up
I
with better
recall, it was
solutions.
just one company that asked at that time,
Yeah, there was one
not
company at that time.
open to every commercial.
Right.
And they were supposed to help come, if there was branches or something, they were going to help with that, the big ones.
There was big stuff, yeah.
You know,
so.
they wanted to work with the city, and I haven't heard anything more about that.
No. Well, I haven't seen that out there around for a long time anyway, so. So that's something we're gonna have to try and, I guess we'll look at these spots,
Adam, oh, can you look at those
tree spots.
tomorrow and kind of take a look, see what we got? So,
Okay. Anything else on that, or?
No, that's, when it's opening back up, it's just been
Yeah.
the main thing.
When we get a loader, then we can move stuff around, so.
But what if we don't have a loader for 3 months? We're gonna have to figure something out.
Well, then we're gonna have to get a loader then, because we can't go on forever without a loader.
Yeah.
It's been a month. Yeah, we can definitely use one.
can we, I mean, look, we got 26. Maybe by the end of July, if we don't have nothing, maybe see if we can get Chris down here to push it up, or somebody just to kind of pile it up for now.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, hopefully I'll learn more tomorrow.
Okay.
He should probably call, he usually calls on Tuesday when I get hold of him on Monday, so. Yeah, we need to do something, so. Okay. Fire and tornado policy.
I included the quote that we had received from them of what it would be for our fire and tornado policy. I did make some changes that I told him. We added some stuff from over at the airport, that all the work that they had done, so that was covered. And if we want to take off the green building is currently still in this policy. If we want to take that off, that'll change it. But for the most part, it's not gonna.
It's pretty much the same as last year, I'm guessing, pretty close.
It's a little bit more, but
Not by much, I'm
No.
sure.
and then with a couple changes, it might, increase, decrease a little bit with adding the airport changes, all the stuff they did out there, taking out the green building.
Mhm.
And then the one other thing, the water tower and Heritage Heights. I can look that up too, I guess, if we want to change that to, a different cost, or so instead of being full and covered, could go to replacement value cost, which could just change the amount a little bit too, depending on how old the water tower is. Then it can, instead of going from full, we can have a replacement value cost on that. Not really much of a difference.
Replacement value cost, you would get more,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yeah, But should we look at, for both towers, replacement cost?
I think the other one's at that. It was just,
Okay.
you have to wait until it's a certain years old until we can switch it over to that.
Okay. Yeah, I think it definitely would.
Looking at.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's gonna, who knows what prices are gonna do if it goes up
Right.
another $100,000, I mean, an extra $20 to do this. Yeah.
Right. Mhm.
So, yeah, I would say do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And green building's coming off,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah. Might as well. Okay.
Are there any big changes around that would need to be included or added?
These are.
Because we updated the Memorial Hall last year
Okay.
to include
The
the kitchen, the audio, all that kind of stuff. And I have them adding on the doors as
Elevator.
well this year.
Elevator too, and,
Yep, the elevator, that was all taken care of last year.
oh, okay.
And then this year I'm having him put the doors in there.
Do we have to upgrade the floor or anything since the floor was redone here? Or is that same?
That's just maintenance, I don't.
Maintenance, I think.
Okay.
When I asked them about the replacement of the building, they said that didn't really change, just the contents that they were worried about
Yeah,
last year, so.
right, because if it were, to make sure that everything's inside is covered, if anything were to come in and ruin everything,
Okay.
then we want all the contents of it covered.
So, I think we're all right there.
Yeah.
Just for equipment also, or just buildings?
This is just our buildings.
Okay.
It's not like any of our machinery, that's all
Okay.
separate, or different.
Right.
And then I guess the other thing I did ask him about last year when we had this incident with the streetlights, because our streetlights aren't covered through this policy, it's not really worth it to cover them because there would have to be a substantial damage to more than just
Right.
one
Right.
to make it worth it. And if there's only going to be one damage, I mean, it'd be if a whole, I guess, tornado would come in and sweep out all of them. But if we're going to switch them over anyway,
Right, and I finally got a hold of the right person with the DOT to, get the ownership thing on the highway figured out, so.
Right,
finally.
because the lights over on 200A are staying on when
Those
it's
are
pretty
ours.
light out.
Those are ours.
Right, but they're staying on, they're not shutting off.
Really?
It's pretty light out in the morning,
Mhm.
and they were on, I've noticed they've been on lately, so.
Those are fed with REC.
Right, but that might be something we need to look
on
at.
200,
200A,
At the end of Main, right?
into Main, going
how
south.
many of them?
There are two of them that I saw for sure,
Well, there's 4 of them there.
but I think two of, the sensors might not be working.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I noticed that the
I
other
didn't
day.
know about that, so we'll.
But we own them, so I suppose that'd be a Weber thing.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Okay. Anything else on that? No? Okay. League of Cities renewal.
I just put it in there if, I guess, make sure it's still something that the city wants to stay with. I think it's super helpful.
Absolutely.
You get a lot of good resources from them, don't you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And any questions, I can call their attorney, or even there's a whole group email that gets sent out for people asking questions about different things, and I've gotten ideas from those questions coming over what ordinances other towns have, and I actually got an ordinance from Kenmare to update for our trees, because our tree policy doesn't say a whole lot, and how long they can hang over the sidewalks or stuff like that until they need to be trimmed. It's pretty vague, so I want to look at updating that ordinance, and I got a copy of Kenmare's, which is pretty descriptive and telling you
Good.
what you can, what you can't, and so that's something that I'm going to work on too. But I think it's
Oh, League of Cities is really a
Really
good
beneficial.
deal. What is the cost of that?
was it 13 or 12.75?
$13.75, $13.55.
Well worth
That's
it.
cheap.
Well worth it, so. Okay.
Do we need a motion on that?
Good.
I make a motion that we renew League of Cities
Second.
membership.
Second.
Okay, Colin?
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, budget. You ready? All right. So, everybody has a copy of this. The first 7 pages are income, the last 12 pages are expense. Chelsea's got some numbers in here.
I really tried to focus on revenue, just so we could kind of see where we're coming at, and I did get expenses in there. Our payroll module isn't working to the way that, or I can't get it to work. I have some error message that comes in that I need Black Mountain to help with. I was asking them last week for help. They must be super busy. Their schools are all on their year end. So I know they've been really busy with them and getting their reports and stuff like that. I'm hoping to get with her this week so that I can bring in all our payroll data and then go with the percent increase that Don and Mike had recommended, and then it'll just go across the board. Then we can maneuver it, increase where we want, but it's just a percentage, and it'll
Right.
do everything for me,
Right.
which includes FICA and the wages too. I didn't go through and split down all the guys' wages because I know we're going to use that, bring it in, so I didn't put I put a number in there. That figure's not going to be exact because I didn't go and do it all with the 20% water, sewer,
Right.
buildings and grounds, so that's sitting there for that.
And this is a preliminary, so, yeah.
Yeah, there's still work that needs to be done the next 2 weeks before we have our final one to approve it before it needs to go to the county on August 10th. A question I do have, I guess, right away, the loader, so I know how to expense that out, is being paid out of sales and use tax, correct?
And so is the blade for the loader.
And the blade, okay, just so I can put those figures in there
Right, and
adequately
that's
of what is
over-
gonna be coming off for 2022.
Right, and that's for over 5 years for the, I mean, the blade's just paid right away, and then, I think it was 5 years.
5 years, yes,
Yeah.
but how it's split down so we can see what
Right.
is gonna come out of that fund for the next 5 years,
Yep.
because it's, I mean, a larger amount.
Yep. Okay. Just wait till she's done writing that. Any more comments on that you have right away, Chelsea, before we go through it kind of line by line, or?
No, and then tell me where other things are, where we need, so I know kind of how to increase, decrease.
Right, so, as you can see on like page 1, you know, it starts out with, you know, the general, which is your property taxes. Well, that, you know, we leave that empty for right now until we get to the end, because we have no idea what to put in there. But you've got, you know, your licenses and permits, that's the beginning. So she basically put in numbers that kind of think is probably going to be more realistic than, you know, or as compared to last year. The only thing that I thought we should leave at like $3,000 is the building permits. She lowered that to $1,000. I think that should be at $3,000. Everybody see where that is? It's 3223. Because, you know, with the wording the word that the plant is going to continue, I'm thinking we might get more, you know, building going on in town. So I think that should go back up to 3,000. I mean, other than that, I've been kind of looking. Your intergovernmental, kind of in the middle of the page, those are based on what the state thinks we will get. Those have usually been pretty close, haven't they? I would think.
Yeah.
Over the years, I would think so.
And where we're sitting for 2021's projections, sitting at 6 months, they're all pretty much at 50%.
Yeah, they
so.
are, right, yeah, exactly, so.
The coal one was the hardest, I'm guessing, but I don't.
Right. But that's their figures, so, yeah, you know, see what happens. You got fines and forfeitures, that's at 5,000.
Yeah, I lowered that because we haven't come.
Yeah. I think that's fine.
Okay.
You got miscellaneous revenue. You know, boy, that covers a lot. 25,000. I'm not really sure what all goes in there, but it appears like we're getting it though. So.
And usually that is a pass-through account for some things. But talking with the auditor last year after our audit, there's different ways we can put that money in, so it's not going into miscellaneous. If it's coming in like as intergovernmental revenue and then spitting it back out, so it's not showing up in the miscellaneous revenue.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just different little things that come in, but sometimes that's been used as a pass-through account.
A little easier to track.
Yeah.
That's the new way, yeah.
Do you know why in 2020 it was like almost 300,000?
Yeah, from that, I just had it, grant money that we received that got turned over to American Legion. That charity contribution that they matched.
Okay.
The city was a pass-through account for it, so it got deposited into our account and then got turned around and
Okay.
the check was, that's why that one was so high.
Yeah. You know, we go down, I don't know, Memorial Hall rent, I think, probably 3,000, yeah, maybe.
Hopefully that will get rented out more.
Well, hopefully, you know.
Again now.
I mean, last year was pretty bad. But, capital credits, what's that involved? That's, do you know what that's, what's involved there?
That could probably even go up. Our check that we receive every year from West River.
Oh, okay.
revenue.
Oh, yeah, right,
Yeah.
yeah, right,
That
okay,
goes under there.
duh. Okay.
And then we have,
Any questions on that page? So really, you know, non-revenue sources, there's nothing there. We get the highway distribution, you know, 105, that's based on what the state says, right?
yeah, no, it's projected to go up a little bit, so I increased that.
Okay.
I think it was like 7%.
Okay. And you got the special assessment deficiency, which I think is what, close to 1 mil or something like that, or maybe 1.4 mils or something.
Yeah, well, and I just put that in there because we lowered it from 2020, where it was the 104 that we were to recoup all that was put in there
Right.
from last year's, and then I just put in the 5,000 for this year again, whether or not we want to leave that in, take it out, or
Well,
that's, I mean, all stuff, it's hard to determine what's going to come in for that. And
Yeah.
I've kind of looked at last year's numbers to see where we're sitting for that number.
Right, well, I think it's kind of important because, you know, some people don't pay, so, yeah. And really, you know, in the grand scope of things, it's pretty small. But it all helps, so.
I'd like to see that up just a little bit more for right now, for the preliminary budget, if we can always cut it.
I believe there's a, is it a percentage or,
Yes.
it's a certain percentage of your mill levy, is what
Right.
that can be.
Right.
Yeah, I can't go
So-
too high.
So why don't we just put a question mark there,
Yeah.
and maybe we can find out what, you know, what it is. Let me see what that is.
Because that's where we put the 104 in last time.
Okay, it can be 1.4 mils. That's according to
Oh, is that on a
2015, so.
So what's the 6,042 in there for 21 then? Right next to that.
Yeah, see, we had
104.
That-
104. So that's why I was thinking that was more of a, to fill in, if we had to.
Well, but see, for 20, that was for 20, okay, but
Right.
but our, you know, our mills were way high that year. You remember, we added that extra 100,000 on, so that's why that's higher.
Yeah, but that wasn't 1.4.
That's
Yeah.
actual, it's like,
That was actual, yeah.
It was actual.
So we played with that number, so I wanna revisit that, cause I think
Right.
5 could be a little bit low right now.
Right,
5,000.
it'd be 1.4 mils, so, a mill would be worth,
it's 4,800, 48.29.
48.29, what's 48.29 times 1.4? 6,760.
So that covers us then.
So we could increase it to,
65.
Yeah, for the preliminary.
Well, for the preliminary, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's go 67 for the preliminary, because that's what it is, so.
Yep.
Okay. Can always go down, but we can't go up later, so. Oh, miscellaneous revenue, then you've got, MMDA savings, I'm assuming that's all interest. Okay. Then you go to the next place, sales and use. We're projecting 240,000. That goes into its own special fund though, you know, I mean, that doesn't go into the general, so. Miscellaneous revenue, lodging tax, not a lot, 1,200 bucks. And that goes into its own special fund also, correct?
correct.
And then, yeah, just got a lot of interest earnings here.
And interest is pretty low.
Yeah. If there's any questions along the way, please speak up. I'm on page 5, is that where everybody is? Okay, and these are property taxes, so these are pretty much set. you know, the special assessment. There's really not much we can do with those. They are what they are. You know, the only way to change those would be to refinance, and there's another one I think we're gonna look at, like the 2016 one, probably this winter, and check into that one, so. That refinancing that we did, was it 2 years ago? Oh my God, that made a huge difference.
It did for, interest
Yeah.
that we were paying. Yeah, I mean, even our principal that went out, but our interest really was reduced with refinancing that from what we were paying till figuring it out for next year.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of savings, so. So anyway, so we got the grand total without the middle, the 220,000, is that right? No, 2,220,000. Is that right?
Are you looking?
Page 7 on the bottom.
Yes.
But you know, I mean, this includes, you know, garbage, it's water, sewer, it's all our revenues, okay?
See, last year was 25 or this year?
Yeah, and just to actually figure out the mills, well, we can't, it's just gonna be the general.
But the thing is,
Our special.
last
revenue
year we
fund.
had the property taxes on there, in the figures, correct? That's why we're off. Because this year you don't have property taxes on there yet, on the total figure.
No.
No?
And I didn't include them in there last year right away at the beginning
didn't?
either. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't know how that number was figured out, so I had to call Beth.
Oh, okay. Okay. Anyway, any questions on the revenue? You know, and when it comes to our general property taxes, the stuff like, where are we at? The, you know, highway distribution tax, that's kind of on its own separate fund, that's not in the general fund.
Right.
Then you've got your water, your sewer, those are in their own funds, they're not in the general fund, so they really don't pertain to the general property taxes. I mean, it sounds like $2,220,000 a lot, but a lot of that is in different funds, not the general.
Yeah, because you have to take out the highway distribution and all the enterprise funds,
Right,
plus your debt service.
exactly.
That gets taken out as well.
So we have some allotment put aside then, if garbage goes up again, where we got kind of caught?
Well, we increased garbage rates all at the beginning of 2021 to make up for not changing garbage rates the last couple of years.
Okay.
And I think that should cover it. I could, before next meeting, double check with Circle to see if they have any idea of what it's gonna go to, but there's all kind of changes with the landfill increases, then our rates increase for dumping and stuff like that. But I'll double check with them to see if they're
Yeah, we shouldn't get
having
ourselves short
a
of it.
projection, but I know we did increase the garbage to more so we could kind of recoup some of those costs.
Yeah, but I didn't think we were too far below water with the garbage last time. We were about even, I thought, right?
Water and sewer fine garbage, we were negative.
Yeah, but not a huge amount, right?
Enough,
Well,
where it was kind of, because we were being charged $4.55, I think, for our second garbage tote, and we were only charging people $3.50. Three. Yep, it was $3 even.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's $1.55 for
Yep.
each time a second tote's dumped.
Right.
And that was for a year or two that those rates were changed to
That's quite
recover
a bit.
those, so.
Right, so according to what I got from Chelsea, in 2020, you know, garbage we took in $96,380, and expenditures were $96,358. We made $21.
Well, great, that's what I'm saying. We
Yeah,
were
that's-
flat.
That's not good.
No, it's not good, but it's not.
But we add extra on to get extra money, you
Yeah.
know, to pay for other things like cleanup and all this other stuff, you know?
Right.
Which is probably included in there, but boy, that's,
And our cleanup week bill was hefty.
yeah. And, but that was 2020, so in 2021, we actually raised them, isn't that correct?
Yes, they were raised, January 1st.
Right, right. So, hopefully, you know, we'll be better off.
How much, do you know off the top of your head how much cleanup week or the extra big dumpsters were?
We had to pay them $2,500 more
Okay.
than what our, well, I mean, going based off of our normal bill that we obviously with that, I think it was $2,500 to $2,700. Can't quite remember the exact amount, but
Yeah.
I just don't remember having all those extra charges last year. But
Right.
maybe we had more this year too, so.
Possibly. Okay, so any other questions on that? We move to the expenses. We basically have the governing board, you know, that's pretty much set. Judge's salary is set, mayor is set, auditor wages are set, attorney fees, 150. We really haven't been spending a lot on attorney fees.
We haven't.
Assessor, we basically, we have a contract with him, or how does the assessor work, you know?
I think it's just, yeah, like an unspoken contract, and then when
Do you know if that's going up for next year,
he usually tells me, but I'll double check on that too.
or? Okay, yeah, double check on
Maybe I asked him last year.
that. Okay, you got, fines for the judge, workman's comp. So, okay, we got, unemployment.
That's should all come over from when I can load in that payroll option, because that's all paid out of payroll.
Mm.
So once I get that functioning, or they teach me how to use it then, I think that I can roll those numbers all over then, and it'll all be just a projection if I want to increase that by, say, 2%.
Right,
Those numbers will just filter in.
okay.
Because we could take this whole thing and say if we want to just increase our revenue by 3% or increase our expenses by 3%, we can do everything just across the board by a percentage and not fill them in
Right,
by looking through them.
right. Okay. Computer support, that's a lot of money, but, you know, we spend a lot of money on that.
Yeah, and I put Black Mountain into their fees into that one as well.
Okay. Is that enough, 20,000?
It should be, yeah.
Okay. Professional fees, now, that's not auditor, right? Or, I mean, I should say that's not engineer, that's under non-departmental, that's not engineering fees, that's like different fees, right, for, like, you know,
Some of the engineering fees, I think, a little bit get paid out of there for if they're just general. No, they don't.
I thought there was another spot in there for engineering,
For projects, there are specific ones, but I
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
some
that's
of
true,
the
yeah.
general engineering service fees get paid out of that professional
Okay,
one.
sure, that makes sense. Okay. Everybody liking these figures so far? And I think they look pretty good.
Yeah, I think the audit fee is pretty close to what we got charged this year,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm happy with that.
Yep. Credit card fee. You have nothing in the credit card fee? Don't we pay a credit card fee?
No, not anymore. Since we switched over to this new system, it's,
Oh, okay.
we
Nice.
don't have that.
Good. Yeah, travel, cell service. So dues and membership, that would be like League of Cities, right?
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
so we should
I should
go up
increase that.
To what?
2 at least, just because we do League of City,
Yeah.
and we do the...
Coal sevens?
Coal
something-
conversion of counties.
Coal conversion.
Coal
yeah.
conversion.
What, 2,000 in there?
Yeah, I would think.
Okay. Professional development, probably works. Internet, office supplies. use a lot of office supplies.
Yeah, reduce that, because I don't, unless we have anything big that we're gonna put on for 2022, I think
Are
that
we
should be.
having problems with the, big copier?
Yeah, the feeder on the top, there was a little plastic piece that was broken in there, and he found that. He's just gonna bring the whole top of it from, a retired machine and put it onto this one to see if that works. Cause I had asked him when he was here, I said, what is our copy machine doing? Is it something that we're gonna have to look at? In the next year to 2 years, we probably are gonna have to look at updating it.
Okay.
Because it is an older model, but it's still, I haven't had any issues with it other than now that it won't feed through it, since I've started.
Heard that piece.
Yeah, and there could be a mechanical issue where instead of taking it all apart to figure out if it's a motor, he said it's just as easy to take another one, bring it in,
Okay.
and put that on top, and instead of having to,
Should we leave
Middle of
that
it.
at 40,000 or, just drop it down to 25? What do you think?
Well, it's been really, really low last few years. I mean, even, but, okay, we're at 40,000, we only spent 14% of that, right, this year?
correct.
So I think 25 is probably fine. Because I think, all the office supplies that you buy, I think, it doesn't cost 25,000 for a copy machine, does it? Maybe it does, I don't know.
I could
Pretty
ask.
expensive.
I think so.
I know they're
Because
expensive.
the city bought that one, right? Then we just contract through
I believe we buy
Liberty
it.
for the ink and stuff, correct?
I believe we buy it,
Okay.
yeah.
So if this one craps out even with that new piece. we'll
I can get a
actually
quote
need-
from Liberty too, what a new one would be.
Yeah.
We'll put a question mark by that one. You know what, why don't we let's put in, say, 30, we'll add 5,000 to it, and then we'll put a question mark by it, and then we can always lower it back down, How's that sound? Sounds good. Okay. Okay. Advertising, well, that's for non-department. Thing is, there's advertising in a bunch of different spots, right? So it's like,
Yes.
that's where it gets kind of confusing, is, But anyway, so we'll move on to governmental buildings and grounds. Got wages, overtime, insurance. And all this stuff is separated out for wages between the different funds, so, yeah. Probably all know that. Fire and tornado, that's our, like, vehicles and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's our buildings, the fire and tornado policy
that's
is the
only
one
just
that
with
we
fire
were
and tornado?
just
Oh, I thought that was
going over,
insurance
yeah.
reserve.
We
Okay.
should raise that a little bit.
Yeah, let's see, that's, we're at
Yeah,
50.
6,000, we were at 50.
45.
No,
52 on this one.
5201
201 was the invoice.
Well, yeah, because, what was it?
is what this year's is.
Yeah, so it's, and you got it in at what, 52?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that comes out of that one then, huh? That fund?
No.
No.
Okay, that's okay.
We're probably fine.
Then we're good.
Electricity, telephone, repairs and maintenance. And that's on all of our buildings, right? Repairs and maintenance?
Yes.
Yeah. Janitorial, miscellaneous. So fish cleaning station, we still get money from the state for that, right?
Yeah, at the end of the year, I
Was that in the?
send them a total of what they reimburse us for.
Was that in the revenue or not?
It might not be in there, but
Could be under
Is it-
miscellaneous revenue, I suppose.
yeah, really
Okay.
revenue.
That's probably where it's under, okay.
It's kind of a loss.
Okay. Any other questions on that page? Page 3, turn it, oops, nope. Planning and zoning, okay, that's required publications. Generally, that's an in and out, right? Because people pay us, people have to pay for that, right? So,
Yeah, that's what part of their, when their thing is, yeah, then we have to post it for the 2 weeks.
okay. Advertising and promotion, you've got 300 in there.
Might have missed a zero there.
Yeah, I'm thinking you might have. We're looking at 3,000 probably, right? Yeah.
Advertising.
So police, we know that's our new figure.
That is a firm on the police?
Should be. That was our
Yes.
contract we signed, so.
Okay, just
For next year.
Just verifying.
Yep. Fire department, scratch that.
Where, for the fire department, did the extra, was it 25,000, 10,000, that for, that they used to put for the,
25, it was 10.
put aside if they could for the fire department, where did that go?
That went, probably for, so, total, okay. I don't know if this helps you, but it's E 100-4220-828, fire truck savings. Under, I can show this.
Fire, okay, so that did not come out, maybe that's what that 350 was?
Well, see, we didn't put anything in there for the last couple of years.
Okay, maybe that's why it didn't come over into this account,
That's very possible.
or into the new software.
Right.
Is there money in that fund then? I know we haven't put it in a couple of years, but do we have money just sitting there in the general, do you know?
We drained it when we bought that last truck.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
That's right, I think we held off for a while because you just spent a bunch and then we thought, well, we'll try and catch up a little bit. And that's when we had, you know, that big deficit that we were dealing with, so, yeah. Yeah. So we'll have to find a place for that. So maybe just write a note on the bottom. Everybody agree with that? So, fire, what do we call that? Fire truck savings?
I can look at the old one too.
So they're asking 10 grand for that. Everybody agree with that one, or?
10 grand, huh?
It's the same amount for equipment, whatever.
Hoses and stuff like that too, then?
Not really, just major equipment.
Major equipment, yeah.
No hoses or anything like that?
Something we can build for
Yeah.
something.
Like something that's many thousand. His truck was 260,000 for doing that.
So where do all the hoses and nozzles come out of then?
That's just our regular budget.
Yeah.
The 22.6.
22.6, yeah.
That's enough to cover it in a year then?
If they need more, they know where to come. The rule.
So you think 10 is good for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just write a note on the bottom somewhere or somewhere, I don't know where, but. Let's go 10.
Let's go what, fire truck?
Yeah, fire truck savings.
I think you guys used to have an account like that in the city too, for major expenses. At the time, I think they were both of them set up at the same time, if I remember it.
Possibly. Not sure, yeah. All right. fire department, you know, there's separate electricity, gas, and telephones for that area. And we got highways and streets, maintenance and repairs. Is that where our tar comes out of? I would imagine. Well, some of it comes out of there, and then some of it comes out of the highway fund. Right?
No,
Yeah.
it hasn't been separated. If it's supposed to be by percentage, it wasn't when it was paid this year.
Well, but see, we've got, under highway distribution, we've got maintenance and repairs 20,000, and then under highways and streets, we've got maintenance and repair for 17,000. So, you know, some of it's for tarring, some of it's for patching, you just gotta kind of split it up, so.
So this is strictly the cold patching then?
It could be a lot of things. It could be gravel, it could be, tar, it could be patching material, it could be paint, you know, I mean, it could be a lot of things.
Now, are we thinking about doing a project, or do you think we need to patch for another year? That's our main question right now.
So, we're hoping, at least kind of what we've been talking about, we're hoping to, you know, 'cause people have always wanted to know what we think it's gonna cost them. So, we actually have some figures from the engineer, some estimates, and we're gonna try and, once we get that software figured out, we're gonna try and figure out what everybody, we can send it out to them, and then, you know, 'cause people can vote it out. So,
Right.
they can vote out street work, they can't vote out water and sewer. So, but that's what, it's always been the biggest complaint, I wanna know what it's gonna cost.
Mhm.
And that's what we're working on, and really, right now, everything is so high priced, if you can even get it, I think it's definitely better to wait for at least a year.
So we should maybe increase our tar and our patching to get us by,
Yeah,
for
but-
another year is what I'm
Well, it
wondering.
wouldn't be a bad idea.
We can put a bigger number in, is that what I was
Right.
hoping?
Always put a bigger number and always lower it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Are we gonna need new equipment for tarring next year then, Adam?
We've been trying to find some stuff.
We're thinking about switching material type stuff.
Right.
That decision has to be made first.
Only 'cause I know there was issues.
Well, yeah, there's always issues with
Mhm.
that car. You know, at the end there, they were dumping it on, and there's a big wad of glue on the bottom, so, again. So,
Well, you won't let me help.
told you you could help. Colin's kicker. Sure.
So we don't have to replace that machine for a while then?
I think we should budget so we can replace it soon, you know, and put it in this area so we can get it.
What would a whole machine cost?
4,000.
Why don't we put 10 in that, so we have, the ability to do something?
Well, we have 17 in there now.
You're talking for the tarring or the pump and everything, that?
For the cold patch tarring machine, if that's what we want to do.
Well, a lot
I
of
don't
it's
know
10.
what hot tar is, I don't know what that stuff is.
Because what, didn't you say, we get the pump was out now on this one? Or was shot?
Pump it down, there's various other problems with it. The whole thing is like 40 plus years old.
But I was thinking of switching and using, you know, a bigger number and get switched over. Even if we have to pay more for the hot tar.
If we can find a unit, that's the problem,
Well-
is a distributor unit. That's the hard part.
Right.
So, yeah.
But if we don't have money in there, then it's tough to.
Right. So, yeah, I would say, what do you want to add, another $5,000 in there? Just-
I was thinking 10, because that would be good, 27 if we find one of those units.
Okay, well, let's put 27 in there for now. We can
Yep.
always, and then we'll see where our preliminary comes out, okay?
Because it's a good time to switch if everything is acting up.
Yeah. Okay, water, forestry board. So, they have 3,000, supplies and maintenance, and then tree removal, 6,000. I think last year, would we give them 3,000?
Yeah, did I do that wrong? I see that now.
Yeah, it should,
Actual budget, 5,000. Last year, for 2021, their budget was 8,000. We increased their supplies and maintenance, I remember that. Usually I think it's 3 and 3, but they wanted extra money.
Didn't we cut it way back
8,000.
last year?
Well, they wanted 10.
Right.
And we, I think, gave them 8. Or they wanted 12, maybe that's what it was, and they got 8.
Well, what I'm going with here is the preliminary, so let's go, this is 2020 also. 2021. So they got,
5,000 for supplies and maintenance and 3,000 in miscellaneous.
oh yeah, this one. So, I'm sorry, what was this again? It was 20? For
8,000.
8,000 total?
Yes, they got 5,000 in supplies and maintenance, and they have 3,000 in miscellaneous. And then for 2022, I have it 3 for each of them again.
Okay, so the one is strictly for tree removal, and the
Correct.
other one is for supplies and maintenance, okay.
Yeah.
So we're looking at 6 again?
Yes.
Okay. That's really the only trees that we really take out if they're Dutch elm. Otherwise, it's kind of the people's responsibility, you know. And that's the way it always has been. Insurance reserve, 22, that's their projection, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I should get that number from Mike here shortly.
Okay. Social Security,
That'll come over through payroll with
Okay.
our FICA.
You don't have a total in there though.
No, I didn't put one in there because it'll load through the payroll option of it when we increase it. So instead of figuring it out by everybody's projected wages and the amount, I just left it because the program will do that.
but to get a preliminary though, well, I guess we're gonna have one more meeting on this, aren't we?
Yep.
So,
And
and then all these figures should be in there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, for the payroll ones.
Yeah, as long as we put a question mark by it, we should be okay. Library,
Yeah, that should be passed through, they set the budget here, I believe. You did receive that, right?
Yes, have their budget.
Yeah, so we just have to punch those numbers
Yeah.
in. So that should be.
library.
Well, because they
got
pay
the-
their own bills for their
Yeah.
expenses, so
Oh.
they're usually just going to the, special.
Yep.
Okay. So we got library.
So then all the other numbers on the other page are gonna be punched in too then, right?
Which
On
number?
page 4?
For what numbers? Well, the miscellaneous expense then is where that library number is gonna go. The retirement will come through for payroll. Or, we don't need that number, I guess that's the library.
Yeah, that's
We don't-
library stuff, they pay their own.
Yeah, they pay their own wages.
Yeah.
And then whatever they levy here is where that miscellaneous expense will go
Okay.
for their 4 meals that they usually request. Whatever that is.
Let's just go like this then.
That should transfer in.
Okay, we have highway distribution, and what was the projected income on that was 105, I believe.
Yes.
Right?
It was.
105, but see, we're already at 118, so,
And that's not including payroll. Insurance, life insurance, FICA, and retirement.
but it's including some stuff, but not all
Yeah,
of it, right?
I don't have those payroll options in there.
Yeah, so, and it's got wages, but, so that's gonna have to be,
The equipment rental, do you want to keep a number in there? I put 3,000 in there, but that could either go down or out, completely out too, because we do not have a
you know, we don't rent anymore, so.
loader rental. So I didn't know if you want to keep it in there just for a number for if we would need to rent something.
Let's take it out.
Okay.
So that would include, say, a bucket or any of that stuff if it breaks down and we have to rent them? Is that what you're saying on that?
Well, see, we were renting a loader.
I know, but say this one here that we have now breaks down again, and we don't have a loader again, like we're now.
Well, we got warranty for like 5 years.
I know, but that doesn't do us any good if we don't have one.
Yeah, if
Wait,
a skid
wait,
steer
wait.
would go down and we need to rent one, or, you know,
Right.
that's one of those iffy things.
It's very.
They can come out of maintenance too.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we have other
Yeah.
sources.
Yeah, so that one we're already too far over, so, but, well, that's, once again, that's why we do this, and then,
Because our maintenance and the equipment, that might be able to go down with some of the new stuff that we have. But it's, yeah, because the new payloader is, they pay for the maintenance for the first 3 years, right? I think is what you said, or is it 2?
well, what's that?
The new payloader, they do all the maintenance for the first 2 years?
2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah, so I was just,
Yeah. I think for preliminary, we'll just leave it in there, and then we'll see where, you know, once we get the other figures in, we'll see where we're at. If that's okay with everybody, I mean, that kind of makes sense, so. Special assessment deficiency, and that was, what did we say that was? Okay, that's, how much you pay out. So this is expense, not income, so yeah, we should be fine there,
Yeah, I took them all off our bond schedules
yeah,
for what our principal and interest payments are.
okay. You've got, savings, transfer out, that was for 19 or 20, yeah, that was for the memories? 300? Whatever, that was in the past, we don't have anything right now, so.
okay.
Sales and use.
Are we putting a number in for the special assessment deficiency for that 204, like was done whatever year, that 110 that you guys did? Last year you just put in, I think 4769. I put in 5,000 again for this year. Do we want to keep that number in there?
This is an expense, not an income, though. You mean for expense?
Right, because that was the number to increase that mill levy. That's why that 110 was put in, to recoup some of that deficiency.
Oh.
I have 5,000 in there again, just to leave it in there.
Right. I really think that, I would like to not do it, because I'm not really sure where we're at with our, you know, since we refinance all that stuff and where we're at with all our special assessments. You know,
We need to know what that is, our,
well, this is a paid out, so I think, I just leave it at 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
I
can
think
always
that.
take it out, I guess.
I mean, this is preliminary, it's all gonna be gone through with a fine tooth comb next time, but, you know, so sales and use,
So then this is where the loader
right,
is gonna be paid out of.
loader and the, plow will be paid out of.
Do you want out of streets?
I'm sorry?
Out of the streets?
Can't remember what we said that was, what we were gonna take it out of. I have to go back, check the minutes, see what we're gonna take it out of.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was streets or it was, infrastructure, can't remember.
Okay.
You know, and the rest of them, we don't really know. They're kind of up in the air.
Yeah. I can roughly put in what goes for economic development project. Well, that's, I guess, separate for
Right.
what goes to them, or that's, you know, a guesstimate number 2.
Yeah, you could guesstimate there, if that'd be probably pretty
Yeah.
easy, so. Okay, capital projects, do we have any at this time? Page 6, transfer in, transfer out, that's still capital project, yeah. Intake, once again, hope somebody else pays for that, so. Okay, Main Street, that's over and done with. Special assessments, we're not gonna worry about those, those are pretty much fixed. Okay, let me get to water, we're going page 9, the bottom of page 9. The enterprise funds, we got water. Once again, you're gonna have to fill in your employee stuff.
Yep.
So you figure, I wonder if we shouldn't have something in there for engineering.
I just put a question mark by that.
Yeah.
At least 5.
I would
There
say-
hasn't been a whole lot the last 2 years, but
But there might be some stuff coming up.
Coming up,
you know,
yeah.
other than the intake, that might,
yeah.
I would say 5 in there. Let's start. Electricity pretty much runs the same, it looks like. Yeah. Electricity going up at all, or is it still kind of steady? I don't know, anybody know about electricity? Is it going up, or is it steady?
My bills have been high.
Have they?
It's also been hot out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The question would be what's been going down?
Yeah, that's true.
How much?
Budget?
Those damn chemicals.
Yeah. Cut them in half. Our repair and maintenance on the water deal, for 2021, we put 60,000. Are we a little bit low at the 25? Just, you know,
Right. Colin?
that's 380, line 380, or account
Yep,
380.
yep.
I don't know what.
That wouldn't be remembering part of that.
No, I thought that was that 261.
Well, actually,
But we still had to pay our remaining amount this
we did
year
have to
for
pay
our
our remaining
membrane.
amount, that's right, we did, that's right. It was like another, what, 40 grand or something, wasn't it, or something, or 34,
Yeah.
what was it? I don't remember.
And then we got,
But my point is, you know, we need to be looking ahead at the next 10 years.
Yep.
If we gotta replace those again, I don't wanna be sitting here with nothing in the budget to
Well-
replace membranes.
Yeah, I didn't know if that's where you wanted that or not, or if you wanted that someplace else.
So where did the motor come out of then?
The what?
The motor that didn't we have a motor go
Yeah,
back?
it still hasn't been repaired yet.
Hasn't been repaired yet?
I mean, I swapped it over, we're fine, it's just.
So are we gonna replace that motor?
Replace it or rebuild it. That
Right.
should be pretty minimal.
Okay.
anything, whoopsie, I must have missed a couple
When
of these.
repairs and maintenance, that basically it's been up and running for what, at least 10 years. So I mean, there's stuff failing.
Right. And as we get older, it's obviously, technology changes, things gotta be changed out, not as.
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted that in a fund like that, or if you wanted like,
Well, I mean,
improvement fund.
the thing is, if we're gonna have a fund where you actually save it, this is a budget for
Right,
that
that's-
year.
right.
If you don't spend it, it just kinda goes away, it's a budget, but, you know, it's kinda like the fire truck fund, it goes
Right.
into its own fund.
Well, that's what I was
and it
wondering, if we
stays
need
there.
one for like the new, membranes in 10 years. That we can put so much away every year instead of putting it in maintenance.
I would be perfectly fine with that.
Because, like you said, but if we leave it in there, then all of a sudden it disappears. And it was nice that we had the money in there so we could take care of it.
My concern is in 10 years, 9 years, 8 years, what changes are gonna come down the road that, you know, maybe the membranes aren't gonna suffice for what we need.
Right, but we'll have money in a
Right,
fund
right.
for that.
Yep.
I think it's a good idea to have a fund. And how much should we start with?
How much for the membranes?
300,000.
Almost 300, yeah.
So we just put replacement fund, is that what we're thinking
Yeah.
of?
I would think a replacement fund, or an upgrade
We
fund,
had
however we want
Okay,
it.
replacement, yeah.
Yeah.
Write them both down,
With 30,000 in there now?
I would say.
Yeah, I would think that we need to.
10 years, or it'd be 300,000?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure you're gonna need all of that, plus some.
Right, because we were locked in with these membranes, we got them.
Yep.
So,
The nice part is, you know, we make money with water and sewer.
Yep.
Right. So, you know, might as well do it, otherwise we're not gonna have anything in there.
exactly.
That's a good idea.
So that wouldn't go in this part of the budget then, that would be in a separate part of the budget then? If we're gonna make a separate fund up then?
No, it would still be in this part of the budget.
Still be over here yet?
It's in our, yeah, it's in the budget for this year, it's gonna come out of next year's budget to be put
Right,
in
I know,
there.
but would you call it a fund then? Or a savings
It'll
account?
be put in a separate fund.
Okay, would the fund still be in this area? That's what I'm asking.
No,
That'd be up to Chelsea to figure
they'll
out.
move. It won't be considered necessarily an expense.
It wouldn't be an expense.
Well, it will be, but it's gonna be sitting there for,
Right, right.
but it's gonna move, it won't be in the 600 account.
So could we collect interest on sitting there or not?
About the,
No, because I'd have to,
601 water, there you go.
so you're gonna put it, are you increasing then the repairs and maintenance by 35,000 and then you're moving it over, a transfer over to the specific account?
What's the best way to do that?
Just make another line that says upgrade for water treatment plant, or do we have one of those already?
But if he wants to collect interest on it, I'd have to, if he wants to physically move it, I'd have to create a new bank account. I'd have to move 35,000 from the general fund over into this fund. It'd have its own separate bank account if you wanted to collect interest on it. And it would have to come out of our expense then somewhere.
The reason why I'm
'Cause we don't have
asking
just
is
35,000 to put into it.
30,000 is a lot, but say 5 years, that's 150,000. So you'd like to see some additional interest in, or something in there.
If it goes up, if
Yeah,
it just stays the way it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Right
Is it
now, it's
possible?
not, right now, it's not gonna make much of a difference for interest
No, I
to
know,
collect
but
on it.
5 years
Not much.
is good,
If
150,000.
its interest rates go up again, yeah.
We don't have a fund ready for that, so do we? Where did we pull the money out for the,
Isn't there the water treatment plant upgrade account?
that's what I thought, that's where we took the membranes
Yeah,
out,
that's a
right?
304 account, isn't it? Or a 403.
302.
400. But that is a whole separate bank account. Like, it's not even a part, cause so like, every month I get 5 statements from the bank. The water treatment upgrade account is one of them.
And that would be a good place to put it, I
Right,
would think.
but we need a place.
So we were gonna
can-
transfer 35,000 out of the general fund and put it over.
Out of the water fund.
601, but still out of, in the grand scheme of things, our
Yeah, but the-
main checking account.
Is that where you pay the enterprise funds out of? It's a
Yes.
601, this enterprise fund, right?
Yes.
That comes out, that gets paid out of the general?
In a roundabout way, yes. There's a 601 fund where it's all separate, but all those bills some come out of that main checking account.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
We
but
can't
it-
just pull money out of the air to
I
put
know,
it
but
into
it,
this
but it,
account.
but it will come out of the 601 water account, not out of the general.
Fine.
And transfer it over into this water treatment upgrade.
Yes. And then we're gonna have to do something like that, probably with the fire department, come out of the general fund going to somewhere, you know, a savings account or something, so,
Yeah, they don't have one. I'll have to figure out how to do that.
yeah, we're gonna figure it out.
But yeah,
Or however they did it.
Yeah, and it's been done before, so, yeah.
So, I definitely wanna put 30 in there, you know, wherever we need to do it at.
You know, put some millions in, put interest.
We have a
on
bank
it.
out here, how do we do that? I said, you work at a bank, how do we do that?
Oh, I work in bank.
Oh, you don't work at a bank?
Credit
Wow,
union.
okay, you work at a credit union. I guess you don't know the answer
Well,
to
no,
that.
I'm just saying, you have to take money, I mean, you can't just take
Yeah.
35,000 out of thin air and
I know.
go put it into the
Right.
account.
No, right, it would come out of the 601, you know, which is, you know, basically our water.
Our water fund.
Our water bill.
So that would come in out at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year?
Oh, at the end.
End of the year?
I mean, we make money with water, we make money with sewer.
Right.
So, was it 2020, what did we make for, in water? We made,
Where's the big one?
we made two, well, we actually lost money that year. That must have been, what did we do that cost so much money that year?
Membranes?
That's right. Yeah, because we were like 220 in the hole that year.
Yeah.
But,
Because Alex and I talked about that, but he said not to be alarmed at that number because
Mm-hmm.
the big chunk of the membranes were paid out of the 601, so it
Right.
looks bad, but we should show an income again coming for 2021.
oh yeah, absolutely, so, yeah.
Because I asked him about that.
So, okay. Sewer, are we done with water? Okay, sewer,
Sewer needs some numbers input.
yeah,
I lost 5 pages here.
you lost 5 pages.
I know. I was just mumble jumble.
Yeah, there's a lot of blanks in a lot of these, so. Even like water meters, you know, for the water, we don't have anything in there. What, we have 3,000 this year. Did we buy water meters this year?
We did. We needed to.
Okay. I'm sure we're gonna have to next year too, like we don't have anything in there for that, underwater. There's nothing underwater testing. Yeah, there's a lot of these that need numbers yet.
Numbers need updating, or water does.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a lot of,
Are we keeping everything, water rates and stuff the same for 2022?
well, it depends if we're making any money, or well, let's see where we're at with our budget, and
Yeah, we
then
might have to,
we might have to.
once we get this numbers plugged in, we might have to just look at that.
Right.
Well, we're making money in water. Sewer, I know we are.
Sewer we are. But yeah, there's quite a few, well, wait a minute. Chemicals, there's no chemicals listed underwater.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
This chemical supply is 0, right there.
Oh, numbers, it's in there.
Yeah.
These
Okay,
must all be on my
423.
spreadsheet that never made it over into here.
423, what's on there?
Nothing.
0.
See, so there's no account.
Did you waive that column or what?
Well, I didn't say there's no cost,
Sure.
there's no money in there. Yeah, Hawkins gonna give, yeah.
Gonna donate it.
Yeah, right. So we're putting 60 in there again? Or, is it, this stuff just didn't transfer over, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's in my spreadsheet, but never,
Okay, so,
So we're thinking 60, right?
probably, yeah, at
I'm
least.
right at
62.
50%.
And nothing in weather testing either.
Yeah, there's a lot of that we're gonna have to get filled in. Um, This is due August 10th, right?
Yes.
So
We
who
might
do
need
they
a,
have?
we might need a special meeting next week just to review some of these. and
Yeah,
then-
because there's not enough numbers.
Well, I know, but we'll get more numbers, see, and
Yeah,
then
but I mean,
we'll
yeah.
review it, and then on the 8th, or on the 9th, then we can approve it after, you know, any final changes.
What do you want for numbers?
Well, that's just it, I don't know.
Good ones.
Good ones, yeah.
Good ones.
Low ones.
So I guess the question is, you know, I mean, is our debt interest, is that the same? You know, our service charge, do we just plug in the same numbers? Machinery and equipment, we've got nothing. You know, which we're probably gonna need some of that. So, let's put in, water testing, we'll put in 4,500 again. We'll just kind of transfer these numbers over, 60,000 for chemicals. Are they gonna go up, Colin?
From what I'm seeing, yes, everything's going up.
Like
Why
a
don't we,
lot?
If I was to guess,
So 64?
10 to 15% increases is what I'm expecting.
Really?
We're seeing stuff short.
We'll put
We're
65,000.
even contemplating order control just because the whole country is short.
Okay. So let's put in 65,000 for chemicals, water meters. We got 'em.
Adam. John.
Oh, they were ordered in 2020, I guess, is when they were ordered.
Water
End of the year.
meters?
Yeah. We ran out, so I know he had to order them.
But you got machinery and equipment, I mean, pumps, I suppose that's pumps and
Yeah.
stuff, right? I mean,
Or that could be maintenance, but machinery and equipment could be like the sewer, or no,
This
not
is water.
This is water.
$5,000?
sure.
Equipment.
Yep.
Other than the exception of 2020, we haven't had anything in there. I'm guessing everything came out of the repairs and maintenance.
Yeah.
Put something
Yeah.
in there, 4 or 5,000.
I put 5 in there. I said, you know, it's just a starting point, so. Water meters, I'm imagining we probably put another 3 in there. Or you bought water meters the year before.
Mm-hmm.
You spent like 13 grand. And we had 3,000 budgeted, we didn't spend any this year, so.
But we don't know, we don't have any on hand. So
Oh, yeah.
that 3, oh, you do?
Well, I'm sure we do. We must have some on hand. We always keep water meters on hand.
We didn't, that's why we had to order. I don't know what he all ordered when he ordered them, but
Where'd he go? He left. Okay. So let's put in 4,000 water meters. So your debt principal, we had 0 in there. We have more debt principal on there?
yeah, that'll probably stay roughly the same.
It said 0.
Right, it'll probably stay roughly the same.
0?
0?
28,000.
No, that's debt interest.
Interest.
That's interest, not principal.
Oh, there's something in there for 2021? I'll look at my... I'll look at my bonding book.
Oh, crap, I don't have that in here.
And that one up. It'll stay roughly
I'm assuming it's gonna be 225 probably,
Mhm.
huh?
It changed in 20, it might be different, they might go 2 years, 3 years.
So this year we had 238 budgeted, and now we got 130,000 budgeted for this coming year?
No, we got a bunch of stuff wasn't in there.
Oh,
See, we didn't have like the chemicals and all
Oh,
that stuff in there.
that's the total then, right?
Yeah, that's total.
Okay.
But like on 730, what should we put in there? Should we put the 5,000 in there? Because this year is 9,000 and last year,
Well, I put 9,000 in there.
9,000? Okay.
There's another interest payment that'll go out
Right.
yet this year.
Okay.
Didn't find the debt principal, you're still looking right, okay. Let's see.
A lot of stuff to transfer there.
Mm-hmm.
Is that program that you had, can it project the following years, say a percentage of 5 to 8% projection for the following year on the budget then?
Yep, you could just increase it across the board, 5%, everything, and be done.
Once we get everything,
I mean, can you do that within your computer?
Yeah, I
Will
wouldn't
that-
have to
will
look,
that-
I wouldn't have to go look at this line by line, I could just put it across the board, revenue 5%, expenses 3%, and it'd be done.
And then we can just tinker it as we go then? Can we do that?
Oh, next year.
next year, yeah. Not,
Not this year?
yeah, things
Yeah.
aren't working yet.
You know, the problem with a lot of this is, her computer went down. It's just the most wonderful time. That's why a lot of this isn't done.
Mhm.
I mean, what do? You lose your computer for 2 weeks, what are you gonna do right before this happens? So, my God, So, so you're thinking 225 on that debt
Yeah.
principal? Yeah, I mean, it's a figure to start with, right? And, we can always get that in after later. Water salesman, we shouldn't have to stick, well, we stuck some money in there, huh?
Yeah. There is a fee that I guess that we pay to Global every month, depending on the usage of
Cards.
that, yeah, so it varies, but I'd almost increase it, I think, to 2,000 instead of 1,500.
The credit card fee to 2,000?
Yeah. And that water, I don't know, it's been used a lot more this year, I don't know if it'll continue, but we've actually had a lot of usage out of that, which is good.
Yeah, that's what we want, yeah, I bet we did, oh, yeah. And that just takes credit cards, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And electricity, probably, well, you used 50%, yeah, probably about right. So, any other questions on water? Okay, so sewer.
225.
So,
I didn't write it in because I got so much mess here already.
I'm guessing sewer is pretty much, except for like the insurance and all that stuff, but I'm thinking most of the expenses there are gonna pretty much stay the same.
Yeah.
I don't see them changing a lot, like the electricity, the repairs and maintenance, I'm gonna guess they're gonna be pretty close, so, service debt. So I think we can just transfer those numbers.
I know
Do
the grinder, we gotta look at something there, 'cause that's just basically not even working.
Again?
It just chews itself up with all the gravel coming through there.
Are they getting a lot of gravel?
Just all the
Where's that
time.
coming from? You got a hole somewhere? or-
I don't know,
What kind of grinder are we using?
just down in the pit
Well-
that just grinds all the,
Right, but they make some of these that are, well, they'll actually crush gravel.
yeah, I know where
Yeah.
Adam's at. He was talking to the engineer and, looking at some other design or some
Right,
other option.
okay.
He's not here to ask, so.
Okay.
But I know we gotta do something there eventually.
And that would be under repair and maintenance,
I would say under machinery and
or
equipment.
machinery and equipment.
So, what are you gonna put in there? 10?
Well, let's put 20 in there right now until we
20 in
find.
there now,
Yeah, just,
Grinders aren't gonna be cheap.
no,
No.
especially if we change out to a different one. Or a different design.
Right.
Because usually you need more horsepower with electricity to run them.
And I think the rest of them are, pretty much the same, except, we have to get the numbers plugged in for the, insurance and all that stuff.
Can we decrease repairs and maintenance under sewer? Or do you wanna keep that high?
Oh wow, we really haven't spent much, have we?
No, but we were talking about, upgrading the truck or something like that, the sewer truck.
That would be under machinery
Machinery
and equipment,
equipment.
not repairs and maintenance.
Right,
So-
but we never did do anything with that.
Well, I don't know, do we need to upgrade it?
I don't know if we're having problems or not.
Yeah, it'd be good to know. Yeah, I think we can decrease the repairs and maintenance, say, that would be if a pump goes out, whatever, so.
20,000?
Yeah, take that from 40 to 20 maybe. Everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then should we up the machinery and equipment to 40 then?
Yeah, I would think so. To see where we come in at
Right.
on a budget. We can
Right.
always change that.
Right.
But maybe we can get some numbers on the grinder and stuff
Right.
before we,
Yeah.
punch those in.
Anything else on that? So, garbage expense, it looks like we're going over our budget on garbage expense. Or am I wrong? Because if we're at 62 now, we're at 66% at the end of, that's for the end of June, right?
Yes. And that's with, the additional that we had to pay for, included in that is cleanup week, and then our ash dumpsters that we had to get after the beginning of the year from all the ash that was back there. And that was right around 2,500 too, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's an additional 5,000 right there.
Yeah,
But
and
I'm
we're gonna have
guessing-
another cleanup week,
Yeah.
Mhm.
fall.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to look at some rates here once we get this figured out, just to see where we're at. Because that stuff's costing us more money than we're bringing in.
Mhm. Unless we don't wanna put a fee on that back there.
I wish we could get an inert landfill somewhere, but we could save so much money. Thing is, like these grass dumpsters, we get, what, 26 a year?
Yeah.
Are we past that already, or? I
I'm
don't know.
not sure if it's being tracked. I don't know. I don't call it in, so I'm not for sure
We
where we're
usually
at.
go over though in the, year, don't we? I mean,
We typically hadn't, I don't think. Last year I know we did. And then I trying to see if these ash dumpsters fall within that, and that wasn't a thing either, so that's why we got charged for, I think, 4 additional
oh, they're
ash
different,
dumpsters.
they don't fall in.
Mm-mm. I tried, because that was, can we keep them, because we hadn't really gone over, and then if we do go over at the end of the year, we deal with it then, but if we stay within it, then
Right.
not to be charged for them, but they were different, so we had to pay for the ash dumpsters.
So, do we have to buy the garbage cans if we need new ones then?
No.
No, it's
They
part of the
just send them
contract.
to us then?
Mhm, we just call and say that we need 5 garbage cans.
Do we have extras on hand?
I believe we do now.
Okay, I think we do.
They had a hard time getting them for a while. they were calling cities to see if they had any extra
Yeah.
that they could take back, but I believe we got a stack in a couple months ago, so.
Yeah, I got one. Mine was broken half.
I fixed mine, it was all rusted up. Got some metal strips and riveted them in there. Still works good. Looks like hell, but it looks good. So, you're thinking, so these numbers under garbage, like refuse contract and miscellaneous expense, these are the 2021 numbers, right? So, what did we project for income on that?
96,220.
96,
96,220.
Garbage is, I have 105 for revenue.
105 for revenue?
Mm-hmm.
How come it doesn't show up here then?
Because you're under expense.
And right now,
This is expense, this is only expense. This isn't revenue.
in 2020, we brought in 96,000, and through June for revenue for garbage, we have 53,708.
Okay. So we're definitely going over.
Way over.
So we gotta plug in a number for expense on this.
I would say 120,000.
If we stay at 53 again, if we bring in 53,000 roughly for the next 6 months, that'll be 107 at the end of the year. For revenue.
That would be what we pay them, right?
No, that would be what we would make off garbage. It would be 107 come to the end of the year.
Okay,
And
yeah, that's, and we had, what, 100, what did we say on here?
It was 105, what we put down.
So we're changing that one to, yeah, 105, and you said it was what? 106?
I'm just projecting for 2021, it would be
Right.
107.
I know, but we gotta have a figure in for, so we should change our income to 107, just for a figure. Page 7 of 7. 107. Like I said, we gotta have a figure, so, but then, so if we're at, so at the end of June, if we're at 62, what's 62 times 120? 124? Wow. Yeah, that's wrong.
You take that.
We should not be anywhere close to that. We should be close to evens. 125,000.
Mm-hmm.
We have 125, right?
Yep, 25, 596.
Okay, so 125 in there. We're gonna have to look at that a little bit closer.
What's this number here then? 96,220 then, on garbage.
That's a 603, that was miscellaneous.
That's the projected expense. What, 96,220?
Yeah, and that's on for 2021 here.
Right, that's the budget, 95,720 plus 500 is 96,222. That's the projected, that was our projected budget expense.
Right.
But at the end of June, we're already at,
69.
almost 63.
Yeah,
Right here.
right, yeah.
63. So,
63.
so we're at 66%. We should be at 50%, we're at 66%.
Yeah, so we have to jack it up quite a ways.
We need to check some more figures to make sure something didn't carry over or what the deal was, but. We'll check into it. Right, Chelsea, we'll check into it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, basically the library and the airport, they each get the same, they get 4 mils. Special assessment assistance, what did we give out last year on that? Was it,
Like 4,000, I think.
yeah, I think it was somewhere around there, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'll put 5 in there.
Yeah. 5,000. Okay. Last page, storefront improvement, we don't deal with that, that's up to Waida. So, we'll get these figures, just later this week, maybe, we might be calling a special meeting next week, just to review them. We'll see how it goes.
You wanna set a date for that next week, so we have a rough idea?
When can everybody make it?
Yeah. Yeah.
How much time, Chelsea would like to have? If she wants a week to do this, or if she wants a week and a half to do this?
She won't have enough time to put everything in for next week, will she?
Better be,
Or will she?
she's got a week.
I know, but she's pretty busy though.
Well, I mean, we'll give her as much help as we can. I mean, Erica's there to help, you know,
Mhm.
but she can look up a lot of stuff. It's like she's got learn this too, so,
Right.
you know. Okay. Anybody, what day?
Shouldn't matter to me.
Excuse me, did you pass over the park board?
You guys have your own budget?
Well, we submitted.
We get it, but it really just goes off based off their number,
Yeah.
because the park board's separate on the taxes, so there's not a whole lot that we put into ours, because the park board's a complete separate entity.
It's like the library.
But if we ask for a request, we put it in our budget. So that's part of our, I don't think it was in there.
Did you-
I haven't seen it.
Have you asked for a request this year?
Yep.
Well, the whole budget's in there, but
All right, where is it? I didn't review your request because I didn't know you were, I didn't review your budget, I didn't know you were requesting. So, do I have a copy of it?
I mean, you don't have to go over it now, but I'm just stating that the park board did.
Well, I mean, if you're requesting extra money from the city, yeah, we need to look at it now. I mean, just
Well,
to get an
that's why I brought it
idea,
up.
yeah.
How much was it?
I said you used to
I
have it.
believe 25,000.
And there's,
On what? For, building repairs, the vehicle, trailer, just our general maintenance.
Is there a letter of request in here? Is there a?
04.
I don't know.
I didn't see anything. And did you give us what your mills would I be for that you're going to ask for?
We have that.
Yeah, that's all, that was
Oh,
all turned in.
that's all in there? Okay.
Oh, I don't see anything in here requesting money, unless you had a separate letter.
We haven't received anything since 2017.
I know, but, you know, we need an official letter asking for it.
It was submitted by Dwight Hamilton.
Like I said, I'm going through, I don't see anything for 25,000, I don't see any, I'm just saying I don't see it here, you know, unless I'm blind.
Can we get another letter? I'm sure we could. I'm just bringing it to
It
you.
Well,
should
the
be on
thing
that
is-
budget somewhere.
The thing is, like, the fire department on there, that says they're requesting another 10,000 for the truck, that's right on there, you know, I don't see, what did you say? I didn't hear.
Pass that down.
This?
You're just blind.
Well, you have one.
No, I don't, that's a copy.
Oh, I thought you had one too.
No, you took it out of here. So they're levying 149,143 is for the parks. Where is the top copy that goes with this, which tells you exactly broken down with their mills? That was a part of this. Is it on that one?
I don't have that one, so.
Well, it was in this folder initially.
Oh, right here. It must have slipped out, so.
Is it on there?
It said 1920-21 levies, levy requested for this year, date and signed.
Folder.
Nope.
You said 25,000, right, Mark?
I believe so.
Yeah, I don't see it on here.
What's up, my man?
Just got off work. Haven't been to any.
We're almost done. Oh, I hope.
Record special revenue, parks and pool, yeah, I don't see it on here.
Yeah. So, we would need a request, written request.
And
Okay.
wasn't it,
We asked for an extent, yeah, talk to the city about, we went through our budget the last meeting, so we had to specify and give that to the city, so.
Right, your budget, right, yeah.
I know it was a topic that
And is there a maximum mills for the park board?
Yes.
And what is that? Do we know
I'd
that?
have to look it up. I don't know what it is offhand.
Yeah, we need to look that up too. 'Cause
but
you-
in the past, I mean, the park board has, if they've wanted money, they've always just came to the city and asked for
A request.
a request. I mean, necessarily wasn't, if it wasn't in the budget, wasn't that there was money set aside. Before I came here, I know, for the park board, but if they needed it, they just had to come to the city and request the money. It wasn't automatically just given to them, correct?
No, it was not.
They had to come and request it. So I know it's been set before, but
Well,
there's been no request from the park board since I've been in here.
Well, they requested
For any
last
money.
time and we denied it, I think.
No, that was,
Or
that
was
was,
that
that was
for the pool?
budgeted money from several years ago.
Okay.
And they said, we'd like to have the money. It's like, well, that was a budget for that year. You don't use it that year, it goes in the general fund, it's gone. It was a budget, it wasn't in a savings
Okay.
account for them, it was a budget item. So, I mean, that's like anything in a budget. We're gonna budget $40,000 for equipment. If we don't spend it, it's not like, okay, now, next year we have 80,000. No,
No, not unless you have a separate fund.
Not unless you have a separate fund.
Right.
So, that's kind of how it works. So, it's a budget. If you don't use it, it kind of goes away. This goes into the general fund. So,
That's why the fire department, they used it up and we hadn't put any in for a few years. Now we want to start doing.
but they had a separate
Right.
savings account for that.
Right.
So, yeah. That's why that was. So, yeah.
So we need a request
Right.
for what it's to be used for and stuff. And
So we don't have a separate thing for the park board then?
Yes, we do,
We do?
yes.
We do, but it hasn't been.
I don't know that it transferred over
Anything?
here, but I know that it was in there because I know back from prior that there was still money sitting in there, the park board just had to come and request it.
But I didn't see it on this budget here.
Well, I think that was like 2 years ago when they come in and it was like, wow, that money's gone. It just went into the general fund. It was a budget item, is what it was. Many years ago, the city always paid the pool payment. So it was a line item, like 25 grand for 20 years, pool payment. So, but then, and I'm not sure when that changed.
2017.
Was it 2017? Yeah, so, and we can look into it. But if you want something, you should request it.
That's when the city kind of cut us out of your budget. And we came to you to ask for money, but we keep getting turned down.
Well, like I said, you've gotten a lot of money from Sales and Use, right? And, I mean, I think the Legion gives you money.
That's
you
what
know.
we asked.
Right. Well, that's just it, you gotta ask for it.
I know, but we gave it to you though, the Legion.
Right, Legion.
Right.
Yeah.
Very well. Well, if it wasn't for them,
Us.
exactly.
But yeah, you would need to request, for a budget item, so.
I'll talk to Dwight, but I'm sure it was a special line item in our budget that.
I didn't see it, Chelsea didn't see it, so I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I'm just telling you what's there.
Yep.
So, yeah. I'm just trying to find the park board fund here. Yeah, Park District Fund, there hasn't been anything there for quite a while, so. Yeah. 21, 2019, yeah, so. okay. So did we pick a date?
If
When Chelsea works for you.
Yeah. It's how much time you need, and what date would be open for you, and
Any day but Wednesday.
Any day but Wednesday. Next week.
Yes.
so the 5th, that would give you a few extra days. That would be a Thursday. Would that work for everybody?
Almost anything works for me.
When is the regular meeting?
On the
August 9th.
9th? So I can give you enough time if we do 5th and then,
Yeah, if we do a lot of changes, that might not be enough time. I would say a week from today, Monday.
That would work.
Monday or Tuesday next
Yeah,
week.
that would work.
I would say Monday.
What
if
day is that?
possible.
That way, if we have a problem, we
Be the 3rd then?
Second.
Second, yeah. All right, we'll tentatively set up a meeting for the 2nd.
6:30?
Review, what?
6:30?
Yeah, 6:30.
And then the final one is what?
the week after that.
The 9th,
The 9th?
the Monday, and then the 10th is when it has to be in, so.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody have any more questions on this stuff?
Is that the final budget that's due on the 9th?
The preliminary budget is due on, and on the 10th, it's the preliminary budget.
Right, and the final one's due in October, right?
Yes.
I believe so.
October 10th. Yep.
Yeah. So. Where are we? Okay, any other discussions on the budget? Nope. No AE2S update, portfolio, Colin?
Nothing, I haven't heard anything back on that motor from Biggers. Asked Adam, he was supposed to call him, but as of last week, he hadn't heard nothing, so.
Okay.
Nothing to report on the buildings that I know of.
Me neither, I just had a county meeting last Monday, that's it.
So what we're gonna do with the green building now, we've had no interest in it.
Tear it down.
Do we wanna advertise for bids to tear it down? Yes?
I don't wanna spend any money on it. And where'd I end up spending a bunch of money on it?
Well, we got a lot of junk to clean out too.
No comment?
No comment.
Okay. I'll see what I can do about writing up an ad and we'll kinda go from there.
Are you guys got a budget money to tear it down?
Not yet.
You want it?
Get a budget for electricity, sewer, and water when it's a veterans park? Or is the Legion paying for that?
To be determined. Gotta get the building going first,
Right.
so.
Agent's talking about that, but we'll let you know in the future.
Other than that, I don't have anything. Chelsea?
No,
Adam? No?
I don't know.
Anything from the crowd real quick?
Texted him.
Yeah, I've got something for you.
Quickly.
Yes. Well, anyways, as you know, I'm president of the park board. And on July 24th, I got a very disturbing call from one of the commissioners. Very personal, very loud, a lot of profanities. Didn't appreciate that.
I guess, Mark, what does this have to do with city commission? This is a park board issue.
Because if the park board comes to the commission to ask for money, I feel that there's people on this board that are biased against me and the park board. That's why.
Well, I guess I was gonna bring this up at the park board meeting, is where it needs to be brought up, so
Well-
I guess as far as I'm concerned, the discussion is over for this meeting, because I didn't have anything prepared for a commission meeting, because I don't feel it belongs to a commission meeting. It needs to go to the park board meeting first.
Then you will-
If it needs to go beyond that, I don't have a problem discussing it here.
And really, something like this should actually be on the agenda.
Yep.
This
I
is
called
not
this
just a-
morning. Yeah,
We know
no,
what-
but, okay, I called, if I can talk for a little bit, I called this morning because this happened on Saturday.
Okay.
Okay, it was an attack against my pool manager and the crew that was, and Sammy was the lead that day. It was a safety issue. Why we closed it.
I'm not sure what you're talking
Well,
about, but.
well,
I don't either.
give us a, okay, so on the 24th, I showed up at the pool that morning like I usually do between 8 and 10 o'clock to do an inspection on the pool.
All right, but let's make this, real
I-
short,
I
because this is
know-
not
I'm
on the
trying to,
agenda.
so-
Yeah, you say it's not on the agenda.
But I'd
so-
like to move it to an agenda deal.
Okay.
Okay.
It'll go fast if you let me
Okay.
talk. Okay, so I was there early, like I usually am. I showed up at 11:30. Sammy was there. She informed me that we might be short on staff to run the pool that day. So then, I said, okay, go ahead. You got my permission to send a text out trying to get more help, okay? I came back about 3 o'clock, checked on the pool again. You guys all know what the weather was like over the weekend, 90-some degrees. So she said, we're limiting how many people can come into the pool. So, because there's only a couple guards up to do it safely, all right? So then, at 5:15, Sammy called me and notified me that she had talked to Alexis, who was the pool manager, and okayed it that they're gonna close the pool after 5, because the lifeguards weren't feeling good, because they've been sitting out in the heat all day. And we don't have air conditioning in that building, so they're outside all day long.
Okay, you're dragging this out, what's your point
Okay,
here?
so anyway, so then at 5:45, I get a call from him, and starts out, he's raising his voice, throwing F-bombs. I got Michelle sitting across from me at a table. I'm having supper in a restaurant, and she can hear him clear as day. directing F-bombs towards me, my reputation, the park board, my staff. I asked them not to speak to me that way. Didn't get no apology. Said, okay, I'm gonna bring this up at the commission. I'm coming to the park board meeting. I'm gonna bring this up.
So what was the gist of the problem then? How come he was mad then?
Because they closed the pool for safety issues because the lifeguards were getting sick. And for them to sit there and
Right,
try...
I understand that, but the issue was that you didn't have enough lifeguards then, is what it is then?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Okay, yeah, it was really hot that day.
Well, yeah, we've had a whole hot summer. These lifeguards...
We're not trained. They're trained
I know,
to do this.
I know, I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
yeah.
Yeah, and they're doing the best of their ability. I mean, if we have a safety issue, we have to close the pool.
Okay, you've already said it, move on, move on.
So I'm just saying that because I'm involved in several organizations, the ambulance service, the park board, the Lions, the museum, I don't want to come to the commission and have somebody that has a vendetta against me and will weigh that when it comes to the city needing help or funding. So I'm just bringing this to your attention.
Can we talk like over here?
Sure.
Or do
You-
I
you
have
can
to
come up.
speak in?
Yeah, you can come
Come
up.
up.
I'm just wondering, I'm thinking he came to the commission meeting because it's a commissioner that did
Mhm.
this. On his personal time, he's not the manager of the pool. So why are you guys offended that he's bringing this up at a commission meeting when it's a commissioner?
It should be on the agenda.
Agenda.
Well,
It
I
happened
know
on
that.
Saturday.
And
You
I
guys
know,
can't-
but
You don't have a
the-
little
the-
leeway on that?
The point is, we made a decision that agenda items need to be in by Friday at,
And
what,
you
noon or
can't, you don't
something?
bend the rules for
And
that.
unless it's an emergency, you know,
This is
that,
a
that,
safety issue for these guys that are out there and for the children
but this
that are
is- this could have
swimming.
been brought up at the
If
park
these
board
guys
meeting
would have gotten-
first.
If these guys would have gotten heat stroke, then what?
yeah, but
And some-
ifs and buts, you
Yeah, now-
know.
Oh.
Now, hold it, hold it, hold it,
You don't
hold it.
know, you don't know.
Exactly.
Hold on a second.
Wow.
This is the first I heard about it,
Oh, I
okay?
know.
So,
Me too.
and that's what we have an issue, now we need to find out, so we need to bring it up on a regular meeting on, the 9th. So we can find out what's going on, because we're blindsided here.
I didn't know
Right,
anything
right.
about it.
Okay,
Call though.
Dave,
Like-
Yeah.
you want to explain how many times you use the...
Like I
F word
said,
towards me?
you need to get on the agenda.
Yeah.
No, I mean...
Yes, we are.
Mark,
we are-
I'm not gonna sit
How-
here and
That's
say,
right now.
I can't count. I guess I'm looking at, if we wanna get into it, I just look at what's been going on at the pool. And like I say, I've got a whole list of stuff that goes way back that I just get frustrated with, that point blank, you're running that pool into the ground. I'm just frustrated.
How can...
Because, I see it. I see it all the time when I'm there. Stuff that didn't get done last fall. And then we're going around, and I've got nothing against the lifeguards. Don't get me wrong, it has nothing to do with them.
Okay,
Because-
but you're claiming...
But let him finish talking,
Okay,
let you
sorry,
talk, let him
sorry.
finish.
Because, I just, I got so frustrated here. Again, it's nothing with them. I look at it, you're the park board president. You're the one that should, work with the kids. And again, if they were sick, I don't know that. But I look at, and I got other people going there and want to go to the pool and it's closed. And then I get people talking to me, why is the pool closed? I'm like, I don't know. It should be open.
So why did
I
you
had,
ask them
what was it, don't quote me the night, Friday night, I had somebody that went there, nobody swimming in the pool, but they couldn't get in because it was team night. Well, if there's, just my opinion, but if there's nobody swimming in the pool, wouldn't you open it for anybody that wants to swim? Just, I don't know, I'm just asking, it just seemed very
We
odd.
did eventually do that, because there was no one at the pool.
Pardon?
So there was no one at the pool, so we did eventually do that.
She called me that night. and said, hey, there's really no one at the pool, can we let a couple kids that aren't, so.
Because I was told,
But-
you know, they went down there and they got turned away because it was teen night. So,
But
you know, that's where,
But-
and I see some of that going on, and then all of a sudden it's closed, and, you know, and I'll be the first to apologize, Mark, I probably got a little irate, but I looked at everything that's going on, and I see, you know, the state fair's in town, and right away it's like, okay, was it really the heat, or was it because something else going on? I don't know.
So why didn't you just ask that question to him instead of going off
You know-
to him? I think you're
Okay,
from the other side.
can I say one thing?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Underwood Swimming Pool is closed at 5 this week because of the state fair.
We're not Underwood.
Exactly.
I mean, that's,
So-
they wanna close it, they can do whatever they want, we're not
Right.
Underwood, so.
The only time that we closed during riverboat days for 2 days, and that was brought to the park board, and it was agreed on to close for 2 days, so they can be with family, relatives, because there was a lot of reunions going on.
But I
That
guess
was-
just to
The only
reiterate-
time that we're closed is because of a safety issue. So if you're complaining because we're closed too much, it's because of the safety of the lifeguards or of the kids.
So can we, can you guys then say if there's a safety issue with the heat or the lifeguards aren't feeling good, can we, or can you as a park board maybe hang a sign or something
We
there on the
did put a
outside?
sign and I did put it on Facebook.
I saw it.
Can we put a-
I saw it on Facebook.
Can we put a sign by the pool or
We did.
something?
We put a sign on the door.
Something that people can see so we don't have all this problem and stuff?
Yeah,
We did that.
Yep, because I saw it on Facebook, it said that due
Okay.
to not enough lifeguards, I think it
Okay.
was,
Mhm. That's
generally,
fine, you know,
that they
I was
were
just
going to be
kinda
closed
curious.
that night.
Yeah.
Now, Facebook, it's one of those, you don't always get it fast enough.
Yeah.
You know, that could be, you know, that's where the sign comes in, but that could come in on my Facebook 2 hours after it happened.
See, and I don't even look at
It- you know,
Facebook.
it-
So what about
I don't
the
get
people
it
that don't look
immediately.
at Facebook?
But
You
they
know.
did do it. I'll vouch for that, they did do that. I
They
don't know
see
what
where you're
time they
coming from.
posted, for sure.
But I have somebody that saying you're driving it into the ground.
Okay, well, here's Mark,
Okay,
just,
but
can I talk for a
no,
second?
No, You
No.
just accused me of saying you're driving to the ground, let
No.
him finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. You know, I'm part of the ambulance service, I'm part of that, working that budget.
Yep.
We haven't asked you guys for money in 20 years
For who? The ambulance?
for the ambulance service.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how can you be driving
You know,
into the
yeah.
ground when it's
Every
What does
organization,
the ambulance have to do with the swimming pool?
because you
Come on.
saying I'm a bad manager. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay,
I
Mark,
didn't hear
can
him say
I
that.
speak?
Sure.
I don't have all this with me, but last fall, it was like November, I was over at the pool, and looking at everything, nothing was winterized. Now, this should have been done in September.
We did it.
Nothing was in, I had actually, a couple of city guys went over there with me and they took some documented stuff, they took some pictures, took some video. Pipes were full of water and frozen. Nothing, the P-traps on the sinks were never disconnected. The toilets were full of water. Nothing was covered, nothing was winterized. So, and then I, you know, see, well, we're going on fundraisers, trying to raise money to fix up the pool. To me, it's a
Why
moot
isn't the
point.
city helping with that?
No, this way.
Well, that's the park board.
Yeah.
You know, my understanding is the park board. I was on the park
Okay.
board years ago. So this is, you know, when you ask me why you're running into the ground, what am I supposed to think when I see this?
Okay.
That's where I
Can I
have the
explain it?
concerns.
Can I explain? Okay, it was approximately October 2nd, after we did the park. Cristobal and me went to the pool, we drained everything, we sucked out everything, we purged everything, we covered, we dumped a case of RV antifreeze in all the toilets, in the sinks, we covered everything. Now, and to me, everything was winterized, the first part of October. Now, does a storm come along and blow stuff off?
Yeah. Nothing.
That's possible.
It's not likely to have, Adam, go ahead.
It's not, no, the toilets were not covered in any way, they were completely frozen. This is in November, we covered them with trash bags.
Oh,
We opened up drain lines in the pool that were completely frozen, and the caps were still on. You know, I am more than willing to come help you guys, because I did it for 8 years, but I never get any calls.
Okay, Adam, has anything ever froze up while you were park board president?
After winterizing, yes, but
After
it was not
winterizing.
completely full of water.
You know, once we drain everything down, why put, like the water main, the meter was still in place, wasn't it?
Yes, I took it off and drained the water off it.
No, there shouldn't have been no water, because I had cracked it loose, and I tightened it back up, so, I mean, water, the only
What
way
did you
there's
do?
water if the city goes and turns the water back on. There was, I have to call you a liar, because there was no water in there.
There was.
Those
I got
drains were
video
all
of it.
open.
Video of it.
No, the water meter was drained.
Video of it, there was no covers on the, you said you covered the bathroom,
Yeah,
they were not covered in any way. They were completely frozen, no bags anywhere, we covered. You guys did not.
Can I ask?
why would we do all that work and not cover them? It
There's no
doesn't,
roof over the bathroom.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
All right, hold on,
Can I ask a question?
real quick.
When was this video episode of Frozen Toilets?
November.
November of,
Last year.
okay, that's just now being brought to light now. Just curious.
Yes, we did all the work,
Yeah,
so.
no, it's just now being brought up.
Well, I think the point is they had to replace a bunch of stuff over there.
Yeah, I'm just curious that it's just now being brought up,
Because-
almost a year later. That's nice.
You know what, as far as I'm concerned, this discussion's over. You wanna see the video, absolutely get ahold of Adam, he can show you the video.
I got one last question.
So,
I know that you guys have requested a deputy to come in to control your meetings. Do I need to have a deputy come into the park board meeting to control that meeting?
if that's what you wanna do, feel free.
I'm
Okay,
asking,
it's now-
I'm asking, are people gonna be
We're
civil?
done, we're done. Okay, we're done. So we have no bills, correct?
No.
I'm saying
Okay,
if
next meeting is August
everyone's
9th,
welcome
meeting
to come,
adjourned. We're done.
Please be civil.
We're done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.